Clay Barker's powerhouse VYSS utility is one beast that mixes plenty of style with a ton of grunt. powered by the venerable LS1 all-alloy pushrod V8 engine, Clay's ute has been equipped with a Lunardi manufactured 383 cubic inch stroker kit, built by Sam's Performance. Many of you will remember the two-part story we ran on the build-up of this engine only a few issues ago. Originally running naturally aspirated, Clay soon grew used to the power levels of the stroker motor and fitted a highly polished ProCharger F1 centrifugal supercharger and intercooler kit. With the blower running at a maximum of 11 pounds boost, Clay's ute has made a staggering 800 horsepower at the crank and 609 horsepower at the rear wheels. That's 596 and 454 kilowatts respectively for you new school guys and girls.
That was actually about an hour and a half after the supercharger was put in. So it's pretty much just fresh in there at the moment. So a little bit of extra tuning, probably get even more.
Despite the insane levels of grunt, Clay's ute also features numerous points of refinement. Perhaps most notably is its Troy Trepanier-inspired paintwork. Using the factory Quicksilver paintwork as a base, Clay got in touch with the legendary American car crafter to find out what colours were used on the incredible fast-forward, fastback Mustang, as seen on cable TV's Rides program. Amazingly, Trepanier was happy to oblige and Clay got to work transforming the ute with graphics and colours that closely resemble those used on the fastback.
It's Argent Charcoal Silver, a custom paint that he had, and good enough to give me the details and apply it to the car. So wow. It's a cost-effective way of making a difference.
From its custom paint and wickedly powerful engine to the monster Harrop brakes, 20-inch billets and mildly customised red leather trim, Lunardi is one street car you won't want to meet at the lights.
Just to something that to start with a blank canvas and have an idea and drive it through. You get more flexibility when you've got a fairly standard car like that, and you can just do some. It's already a good-looking machine as it is, so it doesn't take a lot of imagination to really make them come up well. Pretty much at the moment, it's reached a point of virtuoso really with in terms of power and handling and look. So at the moment I'm pretty happy with the way it is. So I may down the track look at tubbing it just to get better traction, but we'll see if another project bites in. Yeah, ran on the drags just before it was supercharged, which ran 1106, which again was pretty poor traction. The bit of a hassle I've got there is taking off the brakes to put on the slicks to run it properly, which is certainly something that I'll do shortly. But probably circuit racing is something that I might do a little bit of as well to get the full benefit of the whole package. Aussie Icon. They're a great car, and to build a Commodore supercar was a challenge, and hopefully people think we've achieved it.
Hi, I'm Peter Brock and welcome to 25 years. 25 years since we first got that bright idea to start HDT Special Vehicles. Can't believe it. Probably showed a lot of people that, hey, you can do things. Enjoy the show.
John Kosmosky is not a name that many of you will recognise in the Commodore scene. However, John's is a name that inspires confidence in millions worldwide, and for a good reason. With 50 years experience in the automotive refinishing industry, John Kosmosky is the man who founded House of Colour. Renowned as a specialist in custom painting circles and a prolific teacher of the craft through his numerous books, DVDs and seminars, John recently visited Australia to host a number of custom painting workshops and seminars that coincided with the 50th anniversary of House of Colour and the Maguire's MotorX event early in July. We were lucky enough to catch up with John at MotorX for an in-depth interview.
In a way, I started out and then wanted more knowledge. So I took a night course at a local school called Dunwoody. And they had a one night a week course where you could go there and spend some time with some professionals. And what I learned there basically was that I didn't need to be afraid because what they taught me was what I was already sort of doing, but it just reaffirmed the things, and that gave me confidence. I think so. If school does anything for you, it gives you confidence. But the best way to learn is by making mistakes, unfortunately. I had been painting since '56, and I had been mixing, colors and playing around with other people's paints. So I had a pretty good knowledge of, what colors go together and which ones don't. And, it's funny how you put a couple colors together and you think it's going to be beautiful and it turns to mud, So you just don't know. But so I made a lot of mistakes prior to getting into manufacturing my own stuff, yeah. I never really had any. I loved what I was doing, and money was not my motivator. People say, what got you into doing it? Was it the money? No, I could care less. I loved the work. I loved working with my hands, and taking something ugly and making something beautiful, and I never get tired of that. I've been doing it 50 years and I still love that. That's such a joy, it fills your heart. Well, I think, when a painter asks me that, the first thing I tell them is that the foundation of your paint job is the most important thing. In other words, if you have someone bring you a car that's already primered and you choose to paint over that, that's not a good thing. I did that in my early years, and the job failed. And of course, who was blamed? Not the guy that primed it, but me, because I put the final color on. I learned that you have to control every phase of the job. You can't take it in mid-stage and try to make something work. Number one rule is keep quality in your court and work with products that are designed to work together. One of the biggest problems that we see is people intermixing various companies' products. It doesn't work anymore. You cannot do that. Basically, for a long time, it was motorcycles, believe it or not. Even though they're small items and they don't draw a lot of paint, that was a big, big thing for a long time. The hot rods really started to get big, and we're seeing more and more of that. And now, with the Japanese cars, being built up and the guys hot rodding those things, that's a big, huge market too, along with the low riders and the big boom right now, they're telling me in the US, is cars from the 60s. Actually, I'm very impressed with the cars that I see here, and in fact, I think in some ways you kick our butts. What we're seeing is I don't see as many superchargers as we do here. Just every other car, seems to have one, So I think, and the quality of the cars here impresses me. I'm very impressed with. It seems like too much work is not enough. They'll put in the extra mile. They'll do whatever time it takes is not an issue. They're going to make it right. And I've on these cars down in the auditorium. They just knock me out. I think as far as trends of color goes, the pearls have always been popular, but I think they're getting more popular. The candy colors are making a comeback because we've made it easier with the candy base coats. So an average person can do one now without the tremendous amount of expertise normally required. And they're spottable too. That's the other thing. You can touch them up. That's always been a detrimental part of it, The trends are interesting, what we're seeing. I think it's going to be colorful, shall we say the least. Maybe I should take a chance and I'm flat on my face. I think better suspensions for driving, because more guys are putting large miles on their cars now. They'll get in their car and go for a 500-mile weekend run, on a rod run, and not think anything of it. So reliability and good suspensions, the rack and pinion, the computerized engines so that they're fuel efficient and reliable, and the overdrive transmission so you get gas mileage. These are some of the big things that we're seeing. And picking the right gear ratios in the rear to work with your tranny and all of that stuff. So it's just more engineering for the long haul. And disc brakes, of course, are big. And if you have go, you have to have whoa. So the combination of go and whoa and getting the gas mileage and reliability are the key issues. Because the real joy is not in garage jewelry. That's what we call a car that sits in the garage and never gets used. The real joy is getting behind the steering wheel and taking it out and going on a rod run or using the vehicle, and being comfortable in it when you're using it. So if the trends are changing, it's modernizing the old, but keeping them looking old on the outside. That's the key.
So Anyone who knows Craig and knows the journey that he's been through, you know, can't help but feel sorry for him and feel that, you know, he's done all the right things, and for various things probably outside of his control a lot of the time he's been let down. A car like this, it comes along once in a lifetime. There's no one probably crazy enough to build something like it.
A little bit nervous on my behalf. I've had so much disappointment with it, but I think I've come to the right person to sort of look after all these problems. And if Rob's confident, I feel a lot better.
You know, it's like any form of motorsport. Anything can happen on the day, and you know, I think unless something dramatically, you know, comes out of left field and creates a problem, I really, as I said, I really feel confident. And there's the cars that are close to us, probably really 200 or 300 horsepower down at the wheels on us. So, as I say, we're in with a strong show.
This car that we're about to see here in page number 1, this is probably the most talked about car that has been in the Horsepower Heroes arena for the past number of years. And for Craig Munro, this car has been tears, it has been sweat, it has also been dollars. It's really been one that he's worked out so hard to try and get the right
something to believe in. Must be something we can't ignore. Must be something to cherish. Must be something worth fighting for. You see our faces out. It stands out in the crowd. The haze of moments silent. Don't talk, it's much too loud. Men are dreaming of falling.
It's our day, mate, finally.
Now awake but through just one eye. Can't you hear all the calling? Search for hope to the distant sky. I see your face of sorrow. It stands out in the crowd. The haze of moments silence. Whoa, don't talk, it's much too loud. Men are dreaming of falling. Now awake but through just one eye. Can't you hear all the calling? Search for hope to the distant sky. I see your face of sorrow. It stands out in the crowd. The haze
Now, what's your favourite part of motivation?
Has to be the burnouts and everyone going sideways on the cruises around this little area here.
It's not just guys that come down to motivation, it's hot chicks as well, mate. Girls, what are you here for today?
The hot guys in the cars. Yeah. Hot guys in cars.
Hot guys and cars, you heard it first. Now I'm standing here talking to Mark, the owner of this beautiful Monaro. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your car?
It's basically a GDA Pontiac that's made in Australia and then sent to America. It's basically everything's done to it that you can imagine.
The interior is awesome, man. I like the snake skin and all the different patterns going on in there.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Yeah, we've got to do something different these days.
Was that all your design?
Yeah. And the major stereo, like a huge stereo in it.
So how long have you owned this one? How long have you been working on it?
We've owned it for 12 months and it took 6 months to build, so yeah, that's pretty quick.
Alright guys, you look like you're motivated for motivation. What's your favourite part of the show?
Love the bloody burnouts.
The burnout!
Skits.
Great skits. And the hot chicks, mate?
Sometimes I see faces in a crowded train. Strange eyes look me down and I feel insane. Well, it's funny how the city's my best friend. At the same time, it's like my dead end. Strange times we're living in. Whoa.
Look at these babies, 20 inches.
Like I'm swimming in the sky. Bring on these crowds, 'cause tonight they're all mine. Well, tonight I feel like
Pretty impressed by your car, Norris. Do you want to tell me a bit about it?
It's not too bad. It's a VT Commodore. It's probably estimated horsepower at about 2,500. I believe it'll make that. We've built this car over the last 3.5 years, wholly and solely in the shed at home. So it's all pretty basic stuff. We haven't subbied anything out. We've done it all ourselves. So we're just hoping it works at the end of the day.